Hi! Welcome to the BlueMilk podcast where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars related. Woo! My name is BJ.
My name is Jacob.
This is Darth Bartok. And I'm drinking.
I was going to say you're drinking.
Am I?
I hope so.
You're always drinking.
Am I?
Yeah. And thank you for joining us today, where we'll probably ramble about something involving Star Wars or another.
What are we supposed to be talking about?
We're supposed to be talking about Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, it's a review, isn't it?
It's supposed to be.
Today is supposed to be a review for Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
We've been doing this shit all day.
We have.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been that bad. I mean...
Oh, it has been bad.
We got several naps in. Least favorite?
No. Well, of the original trilogy?
Yeah.
No. New Hope is.
New Hope's least favorite.
If you can say a least favorite for the original trilogy, yeah.
That would be the one that you don't like as much as the others.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's not really a least... I guess. It's weird saying that, but yeah, it's the least favorite of the original trilogy.
All right.
But it's still so high up there. Like, it's... Yeah.
All right.
Do your review then.
Of Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
No, of
New Hope?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Many hours later.
So how's episode 6?
You know, it was good.
Okay.
Your review?
Yeah.
That it?
It was good.
What did you like?
I liked the fight scene with Vader and Luke.
Oh, I'm sensing a repeat of last episode.
The beginning was slow.
In Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
That's not true. They immediately were like at Jabba's palace, and there was a lot of action with the Rancor.
Yeah.
Leia with a thermal detonator.
And
Yeah.
the sexy outfit.
But yeah. Like the fight scene, the Emperor was really good.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, with the lightning?
Lightning.
You know, Force lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Crispy roast, or rotisserie style, and Luke Skywalker?
Lukewarm, too.
Oh, lukewarm.
Lukewarm. Kill me. The space battle was pretty cool, too. It was
A little bit more intense.
state-of-the-art for 1983. That was fucking awesome for It's fucking awesome now. Still.
Yeah, it looks legit. It aged well,
Like...
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Like, the only thing that rivals that is the space battle on Rogue One.
I've seen a lot of movies nowadays that do not look anywhere near as good.
As good as Return of the Jedi. Like, Return of the Jedi, it has the suspensefulness in the battle. Like, are they gonna escape? Oh no! It's a trap! It has all the things!
It's a carp!
It's a carp. It's a magic harp. It's gonna turn into Gyarados now.
Oh yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's the space battle's good. I know you guys don't like the Ewoks, but the Ewoks were adorable because they're Ewoks.
You like small,
I
cuddly,
like
fuzzy things.
The Ewoks. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever for the stormtroopers to get fucking hit by a rock. Like, oh no, my eye!
Yeah,
and
like
just die.
when we were watching, you were like going on like, "What the fuck, man?" And I'm like, I
like the Ewoks, but maybe if they like we're gonna go to a secret pyramid and it's gonna kill everything, then I'd be okay with that.
Like magic, because you know the Force is magic.
Yeah.
So if some other like a Force using Ewok that's like a shaman leads like a Kabbalist. Leads like a Kabbalist order of like
Ewoks.
other shamanistic
Now,
Ewoks to an evil dark side Masasi
and
temple.
they sacrifice themselves. They cut themselves open. They bleed out on this pyramid to sacrifice to their god, and then it just it burns the entire planet down.
Then their blood turns into scorpions.
No, Force bomb.
And this
No,
mechanical
Bane.
owl
I'm
comes
thinking
out.
more on Malachor 5. Malachor 4 or 5?
Malcolm 4.
Malachor 4 pyramid.
Well, I was thinking more like the Force bomb that went off in the third book of Bane.
Nope, first
book of Bane. First book of Bane. You know when.
Way to go, BJ! You related to Return of the Jedi to Bane. Good job. We got into the episode. Dark minerals.
But I was thinking like they do like crazy fucking, Ewok kind of dark side.
And it only
shit.
affects the people like in the armor.
Oh no! This would kill everyone. So even the rebels are like, oh my god, we have to stop this rebel faction of Ewoks from like killing us all.
And the Empire and the Rebellion like join forces for like 15 minutes trying to stop these crazy ass Ewoks.
Well, they inadvertently like assist each other. Like they're not actually trying to do it. They're coming from different sides of the complex.
Gotcha.
So the Empire's coming from one side, and the rebels are coming from another. And then they end up like fighting, and this is turning into a way cooler version of this movie.
It's making the Ewoks somewhat relevant.
Like, a little cooler, I guess.
They're crazy Ewoks.
They're like
Torches
crazy
and
bloodthirsty, cannibalistic, like crazy bloodthirsty, cannibalistic, force wielding Ewoks. Like evil teddy bears.
Well, they're not really cannibalistic. Great. They're not cannibalistic.
No. These ones would be.
Oh, they're eating each other?
No, they eat other Ewoks. This is like
eating each other.
This is like the evil tribe of Ewoks.
Oh shit! Okay.
That are just off on one side.
Okay.
And, it's
and they just landed right there.
Yeah. Well, no, like these ones showed up, and the Ewoks are like, "Oh God, we need your help!" Like from the Golden God. They need the Golden God's assistance to stop the evil, shaman.
This should be the Ewok adventures we should have gotten.
Sounds great.
But yeah.
I think your cats are enjoying the boxes. Because boxes are fun to cats. It's like a world of adventure.
It's probably Seamus. Just jumping in there.
Or Bartok. Could be
Seamus. Both. Could be both. All in the same box.
Anywho, yeah, review of 6.
Return of the Jedi is good.
Okay, what'd you not like?
He walks to the fucking the trebuchets.
He didn't like the fucking.
The catapults.
The catapults
that just magically appeared.
It's the fucking crazy shaman Ewoks.
They can summon catapults, but they can't summon a giant force bomb to just kill all the fucking stormtroopers.
And the stormtroopers, I know they can't shoot shit, and I know their armor's pretty weak.
Well, they can shoot some stuff. I mean, we did see Ewoks die in that battle.
Yes, but that was just because the AT-ST hit them.
Some of them, yeah. I mean, I won't argue with that.
Mainly it was the AT-ST that was going against these guys.
Or stepping on them.
Yeah.
Because it stepped on a few of them, too.
But it's I wish they would have done... Because the original plan was to make it on Kashyyyk, where it would have been the Wookiees.
Which would have made way more sense.
Way more sense. Because they had the fucking...
Instead of small teddy bears, it would have been giant teddy bears.
And it would have been awesome.
With right blades. And they are bloodthirsty.
And you still have that pyramid thing, because there's an evil group of...
Yeah, there's there's the feral Wookiees that live in the Shadowlands.
And
that use their claws. So, I mean, you could have those guys show up. Yeah, that would have been way darker.
Yeah.
Would have been cool, but they didn't have enough giants, I guess, back then to put in Ewok or into Wookiee suits.
Camera angles, man.
No, they didn't have the tools.
Just make
or the
Chewbacca
talent.
look taller than all the other ones.
Who is it? Lord Kasdan? No, not Kasdan.
No, Peter Mayhews.
Peter Mayhews. He's the only giant they could find to put into a Wookiee suit. Out of all of humanity.
Okay.
Yeah.
They found more than enough midgets, because they only take half the price.
Well, there's probably midgets and probably...
You get 2 for 1!
Oh my god. No, there's probably midgets and small children. I like to think that the small children are the ones who get squished and get killed. So does DIRK, probably.
He wants them all to die, I imagine. It's like, why do they even fucking exist in the first place?
Because not enough tall people exist in the world.
Apparently. Did they not go to Europe?
That's where Peter Mayhew's from. He's from the UK.
Exactly.
He lives in Texas now.
Did they not go there and be like, we're putting out a casting call for 7-foot giants? They just didn't walk out of the forest or something?
Probably because they want to spend so much money on the space battle that they couldn't do it in the costume section.
Oh, yeah,
So
way too much fur. Way too much fur.
So, literally,
You could
cutting
make
it in thirds. this like.
Oh yeah, you can make 3 Ewok outfits out of 1 Wookiee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, episode 6 was good. Your turn, BJ. Ooh, what's your favorite part?
My favorite part. Well, I think the movie is good. I mean,
Is it your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite out of all 3 of them. I mean, I like all 3 of them just as much as the others.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them all better than the prequels and the sequels. Like, I can actually sit through and watch the original trilogy and be like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't really have stuff I like more. I mean, all the stuff that I like about the original trilogy, including 6, is the stuff that isn't in the movie. It's the stuff that you learn when you delve into, like, both the legacy canon and the Disney canon, like when you dig into a lot of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, because a lot of them, they skip a lot of time. Like between 4 and 5 there's several years, and then between 5 and 6 there's at least 1 year. I know that. So I mean, it's the stuff that happens in between, as well as like the stuff you learn that like goes on behind the scenes, like what's going on with other characters while certain things are happening in those movies, that really interest me. I don't know. It's just the overall lore is what gets me. The movies are fun. I don't like the Ewoks, I know that. I mean, they're just stupid. I don't know how. It's not even. It's got to be like 100 Ewoks. Maybe, I don't know how 100 Ewoks took out an entire, what is it, Legion? Because I think that's what, like...
Yeah, I think that's what...
That's what the Emperor said he sent down to, like, deal with the rebel insurgents at the shield generator on the Forest Moon of Endor.
How big is an Imperial Legion?
Well, a squad is... I want to say 6 guys.
Okay.
And then there's a platoon. It goes squad, then platoon, then cadre, then legion. I believe.
What about garrison?
Garrison is just like a structure where they stay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like when you like invade a place, and then you make like a garrison there to hold it from like any insurgents usually.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the garrison on the moon is essentially encompasses everything that's there.
Yeah.
But the squad, I think, is 6, and then there's like 5 squads and a cadre or a platoon.
So there's 30.
And then there's, I want to say, like 4 or 5 platoons to a cadre.
Say 5, so there's 150 there.
And then there's like 6 cadres, I want to say.
That's too much. 600
to a legion. There's a
900 people.
So
that's if your numbers are correct.
Yeah, which I doubt they are. I mean, I'm
the answer will be above us.
Like, I'm sure I'll get fact checked and corrected in one fashion or another by either.
I would hope so.
By either these guys or by Russ or Matt or anyone that else is watching that is a history buff, because the military structure of the Empire is based off the Roman military structure.
Gotcha.
From going forward from Augustus Caesar. So, like, there's that. But I don't know. 800 troops definitely sounds like a feasible number that was on Endor at the time, because they had quite a bit of troops in that garrison down there.
Yeah. I don't think they were all just there at that back door, though, because that was like it was said, it was the back door, so there's probably only...
Well, yeah, but there was a bunch of dudes inside the shield generator.
So there's probably maybe, like, what, 250?
Nowhere near enough.
Was it like 250 people? 250 troops over there?
There was quite a bit. Like, it was a very sizable force.
Yeah.
and they got taken out by maybe 100 fucking Ewoks and like 50 rebels at most.
Really?
Dude, you'd be surprised how small 50 people look when compared to, like, 200. So, I mean, there were losses on both sides, so...
True, but I mean,
Not everyone died. I mean, I'm just going by, like, how many people were at that party on Endor at the end, because, I mean,
Gotcha.
I doubt everyone on the fleet fucking flew down to Endor and was like, let's go party with the midgets, with the furry midgets.
Yeah,
I think, like, the what is it, the fish people...
Mon Calamari?
The Moncals were like, I'm just gonna go home now, dude. Or they chased down the Imperial remnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there was some shit that was going on. But I also don't like the fact that Endor didn't just ignite into a ball of fire after the destruction of the Death Star. Compared to... Because, like, I don't know. If something the size of the Death Star 2 blows up in, I mean, it's high orbit, definitely, over a planet, but, like...
But that's a forest moon.
It's a forest moon, and on top of that, like, just the size of the Death Star 2 blowing up, it should have, like, sent a shockwave or a blast force from it.
I think there was a video actually on YouTube that says what would actually have happened on the
There is.
Which there
is. And I believe it does. It goes from multiple aspects. Because they're like, it hits it from multiple aspects on that video, because there's two ways in which the Death Star 2 could have blown up, and there's like the immediate like explosion, which would mean that there are smaller chunks of debris. And if there's smaller chunks of debris, then that means that there isn't as much debris landing onto the forest moon, but it would have to have been a more, like...
heated.
More energy to cause that kind of explosion, which would have in caused a stronger blast, like a stronger blast wave off of it.
That makes sense.
Which would have pretty much, like, just decimated everything below the Death Star 2 on the Force Moon of Endor. If it was like I forgot what kind of explosion they called it, because there were two types, but the second one was like a low volume explosion, and if it went out that way, then there would be larger chunks of debris,
which would have crashed,
which would have also landed on the Force Moon of Endor, which would have caused just as much devastation. There wouldn't have been a fucking party on the Forest Moon of Endor in either situation.
There would be fires still.
Yeah. Like, Luke literally could have just, like, been flying over the Forest Moon of Endor and kicked his dad out the door to cause, like, that whole burn scene. Just been like, here you go, Dad. Boom. And just kick him right out the back while it's, like, an autopilot over a fucking, like, high orbit over the fucking planet. Just... And then you just see Darth Vader just fall into the forest and catch on fire. Would have happened.
I'm thinking that... I know we didn't see any U-Wings or anything like that, but because they were on, like, Scarif and everything, they were used in, like, the Rebellion, I'm just imagining Luke being on U-Wing and just kicking his dad...
Out the side?
Out the side. Like, see you later! And then just flying off.
Well, the Force Moon of Endor is pretty much on fire.
And
like,
you see a whole bunch of, like, midgets just burning up.
Ewoks, they're like hairless Ewoks that are on fire. It's like that scene out of, oh god, I'm thinking of, like,
Of White Christmas?
No, I'm thinking of a different movie where, like, this kid had a dream or something like that of Oh, I want to. It was in the Animatrix where this person was having a dream of, like, the robot rebellion, and it was like a horse on fire, like running across the plain.
I just pictured camera angle on the moon and Ewoks on fire, and all you see is close up. You see one go by, and you hear "Yum yum."
Fire. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, those are like really the only gripes I have about the actual movie. Otherwise, it's, you know, a pretty good one. I mean, part of me that doesn't... I think part of the reason I wish that the Death Star had ignited the Forest Moon of Endor on fire is because I don't like the Ewoks as so much. So watching them all die would have been just cool at the end there. But, I mean, that's wishful thinking.
You could picture each one of the fireworks that were set off as an Ewok exploding.
Oh, like they pretty much strapped an Ewok to a giant firework and then launched them up? Yeah. I'm not going to do that because I know for a fact they didn't do that. See, I want to actually, like, witness. It's not one of those, like... It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, you can imagine it. No, I want to see it. Yeah, so, like, that's pretty much it. I enjoyed it. It was... I like all of them. They're all good. Like, I like episode 4, 5, and 6. They're all the classic Star Wars experience. I like the fact that we watched the unaltered version, so we didn't have those extra rings when the Death Star blew up, that they decided to add on for some weird reason. They're like, hey, this explosion doesn't look like an exploding enough, okay? What you gotta do, you add a ring.
Yeah?
Just one ring.
Just one ring?
Yeah, and it comes out at a different angle than the rest of the explosion.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. Because, see, that's the explosion. That's how they work in space.
I don't think so.
It absolutely is exactly how an explosion works in space. Especially
Mr. Lucas, are you
especially
sure
when it's an explosion. Especially when it's an explosion that magnitude, okay? Forest Moon Endor, completely fine. How close was the Death Star? Far enough away. No effect. None whatsoever.
I feel like you're trying to sell me cloud insurance.
I am. You're fine.
Alright, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if you just look at, like, okay, so if you just look, just take Rogue One, for example.
Looking at Rogue One.
When they did the, what was it, like, one generator shot to Jakku?
Jeddah.
To Jeddah City?
Yes.
When they shot one generator at Jeddah City, and you saw the explosion on Jeddah City, and, like, the mushroom cloud that went into high orbit.
Yeah.
Like, there was...
almost touched the Death Star.
There was debris that was going out into space from this explosion because it was, like... Yeah, because it was just so massive. Now, if a space station is able to generate anywhere near that kind of power... It should explode. When it blows up... One would think that it is expelling just as much energy. Would it not? I mean, I'm asking you, the physics guy.
This is Star Wars physics.
I know, but
But
in real physics, if a device is capable of creating that degree of energy,
logically,
then not necessarily, because it would depend on how that energy is focused. That destruction is based on a focused energy.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean that the device putting out that energy would explode with the same amount.
With the same magnitude. Okay. But that was just one generator. Like, if we were using...
For example.
Alright.
Let's see if I can do this. It's been a long fucking day.
Yeah, it has. I'm making you think.
I know. I don't want to think.
Oh no. We're thinking right now. We're thinking right now.
Alright, so you could... Okay, alright. A regular helium laser.
Okay.
It can burn through shit.
Okay, alright.
Sure. You can destroy that laser and it's not going to do anything.
Oh really? Like if you set like an M80 firecracker on like a helium laser and detonate it, it would essentially be the explosion would be the magnitude of a normal M80.
Right.
Okay. It wouldn't be magnified by the capabilities of the laser.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what. Okay, but still, there are generators on the Death Star that are generating enough power, even if it is focused through the satellite dish of the Death Star, which is effectively
and
what that
getting the power from
giant
the kyber crystals, so it depends on the kyber crystals.
Well, the kyber crystals are used to focus, I believe, because that's why they have
the
them.
crystals themselves have no.
The generators at the center of the space station
they're the ones that are making
are the things that are making the power, and then the kyber crystal essentially focuses and magnifies the power being pumped through them.
Gotcha. Okay, so then that part, so the explosion really wouldn't be because it's not going through the kyber crystal, unless the kyber crystal's able to focus that explosion, which would be weird.
That's true, but I mean, you still have to take into consideration the amount of power that's being generated to, like, even if the kyber crystal itself is the thing that's focusing and magnifying this power to that degree, you still have to have enough power being generated to pump through that kyber crystal to get that degree of, or that result.
Okay, now here's another analogy which works for the second Death Star. And I don't like using this one, but it's accurate.
Okay.
Firecracker in your hand.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a lot of damage.
But you close your hand.
You close your hand, and you lose a hand.
Yeah.
That's what the second Death Star is. That generator was in the middle of that Death Star, and when it collapsed, it's in an enclosed environment. So,
So the reason,
however, what I found interesting is for a split second, when that explosion happened, it looked like it imploded and then went out. It wasn't an immediate.
So it kind of went supernova?
Out. No.
Well, but it went the effect, because usually supernova collapses and then explodes, right?
well,
the nova is the explosion.
Yeah, the nova is the explosion. It's the collapsing of the star.
It's because all the fuel's used up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no. There's nothing. There's no pressure to keep the gases out anymore. So when it collapses, because that collapsing pressure increases again, everything heats up, but it heats up to a point where there's nowhere for it to go. So that's when the nova happens.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fuck, you're making me think. Quit it.
But you like this stuff.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, so
Anyway.
that's one way of looking at it. Absolutely. I mean, the firecracker analogy works really well. I mean, it's an effective and accurate, logical way to go about it.
Yeah.
Which would in turn dictate that. But I mean, still, you'd have to think the generators in the Death Star are generating a certain amount of power. Like, if you destroy the generator, that power is going to not be contained by that generator anymore, and is going to expand.
Well,
or be released.
It depends on the type of energy that's being produced. Electrical energy. An electrical generator, you take out an electrical generator, it's not going to do a damn thing. You're not going to get a huge explosion out of it.
Alright.
You take out...
Transformers, when they go.
It's still... That's not because of the transformer itself, it's because of what it's producing at the time. So if it's not producing at the time...
But the Death Star we know was producing at the time. They fired...
Yes, it was.
They fired the laser and destroyed one of the main capital ships of the Rebel fleet. So it indeed was... It was operational, and it was indeed generating
which is why,
an exponential amount of energy.
Which is why when they went in and took out the main generator, and when it collapsed, that's why the explosion happened. Had it not been generating at the time,
it would have just collapsed.
It may have. It may
have actually saved the Death Star too from exploding.
It might have,
because then it would
at
have
least
just
not
been
be completely destroyed. It still probably would have exploded to some extent, but
not to the degree in which it exploded.
Yeah,
that's an interesting way to think about it.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to come back and say, we fucked up? We didn't quite get it.
They launch all these missiles. They start causing like secondary and tertiary explosions inside the generator, but because the generator isn't on and it's not operational at that moment, they're like flying out because they think it's about to go, and so they get out, and then it's just like there's just like fire coming out of the vents, and then it's just still there. And they're like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" Nothing happened. And then the Imperial fleet just starts fucking wiping out the rebels.
Because the rebels are just waiting
because they were
just sitting there.
They're like, wait, it should have worked. It should have worked. Oh fuck, it wasn't operational, so the generator didn't have the extra energy necessary to actually blow up the Death Star.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of that.
It'd be like the Death Star's just like, turn on emergency power, please. You got like red lights everywhere. The Emperor's just laughing up there. He's like, oh man, they're fucked.
No, he's dead. He was dead by that time. He was thrown in.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of all happened around the same time because they flew in around the time that he got thrown off.
It wasn't the rebels that blew up the Death Star.
It was the Emperor?
It was the Emperor hitting the fucking generator and blowing it up.
What's weird is the fact that the Emperor had, like, an open fucking walkway that went straight down and... Like, what kind of logic does that dictate? Hey, I just feel like looking at the generator today. Oh, yeah. No, it's running.
It's safe.
Are we at full power? Are we at full power? I don't know. I don't know if it's at full power. Let me look.
I'm sure there were warning signs. Caution, no railing.
Yeah, no, they had railing. They had railing in this one. They didn't have railing.
That's true.
They didn't have railing in episode 4.
No, because he climbed over the railing.
No, in episode 4.
Oh, yeah.
Because there wasn't railing when they were shooting the laser, because there was those guys that were standing on the causeway, right?
Yeah, where they went.
Yeah, they literally could have just been like walking, and then they just like fall.
I've done that before in Battlefront 2 when you could fight in the Death Star.
You just
in the old one, I've accidentally jumped in there, and while it shoots and it goes, woo! You just die automatically at that point.
Well, yeah, it's a giant fucking laser beam, dude. I would hope you melt like a goddamn chocolate melt in an oven.
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
On the 4th of July.
You're gone. But yeah, no, these are really the only gripes I have is like... Really,
the technicalities.
The technicalities of it, because, I mean, honestly, like, I try to understand this stuff. I understand Star Wars has its own kind of physics to it and logic that escapes real physics and logic.
What about the Star Destroyer diving into the...
Oh, yeah, when we were talking about that. See, well, it did crash, but, that's not how explosions work, because when it hit there, it looked like a balloon was popped.
Okay, so... Well,
did it not? Because it pierced the surface and then there's
just a little bit. So it was an A-wing.
It was one A-wing.
Okay, an A-wing hits the bridge tower.
The bridge.
Okay, bridge of Star Destroyer.
Yes,
Star Destroyer.
And there's only a Super Star Destroyer. It was the Executor.
Whatever.
And it only had one bridge on that massive ship.
Vader's flagship.
A-wing hits it. Immediately, Star Destroyer goes. Okay.
Now,
mass-wise...
Now, that mass-wise, the Executor should have its own gravity field around it.
Mass-wise, the A-Wing would not have altered the trajectory of the Star Destroyer.
It's true. That's true. It didn't. And it didn't.
But it still goes...
Well, see, okay, so I believe the way we explained that was that the forest moon of Endor and the Death Star 2...
asterisk, warning, this is a bullshit explanation to try to give some sense to what happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, we can't explain the explosion that comes from the Executor piercing the Death Star 2, because it literally looked like they were popping a balloon, and that was fire air coming out of a balloon. It should not have looked like that in any way.
It should have been more like the Battle of Scarif, where the hammerhead hits the
Well, see,
the Death Star.
Mosier,
the Star
my buddy Mosier has like a problem with
because
the two.
It's so sharp.
Yeah, he's like, how sharp is a Star Destroyer to like just cleave another ship in half?
Oh yeah,
it's a space pizza.
Yeah, but it's not that thin. That's pretty blunt, man. So like they're just like that cuts like right through it like butter. That's impressive. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that so the bullshit excuse we have to explain how the Executor immediately just starts going like that is because there's the gravity, like the gravitational pull of the forest moon of Endor and the gravitational pull of the Death Star 2 is pulling the Executor nosediving into the Death Star 2 because the Death Star 2 is in between the Executor and the Force Moon of Endor, so that gravitational, like the double gravitational pull of those two massive objects is what's pulling this other massive object into a nosedive into the Death Star 2. On top of that, its engines were still going. Because the Executor's engines didn't cut out.
Yeah, no.
Even though the hell...
Well, you could hear them increase in pitch. So they were accelerating.
Why? I have no idea. They were like, oh my god, they killed the bridge!
Step on the gas!
I guess when it's...
All power to engines!
I guess the mentality is like, you know, in those in movies when like a guy is behind the wheel and he gets shot and then all of a sudden he leans over and you hear his foot slams on the gas and he goes like super fast because he's just dead or whatever at the wheel. That's the logic they had for the Executor. Even though technically that's not what would have happened because there is no such thing as a gas pedal for that, like that side.
There's a big red button.
It's not even a fucking button. It's literally like 6 levers because there's like a ton of fucking engines.
So when the A-Wing hit...
And it works more like a sub where they have like... you can dictate.
The one guy that was navigating...
died
like this.
Well, it exploded, and the explosion was like in like this, so the shockwave pushed him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
like, he was sitting there, and it was just like whoa.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the bridge didn't like completely explode.
No.
Oh no, it did.
It just got crashed.
No, it
exploded?
Completely exploded because you actually see like the jet of fire come out of the tower.
Fire.
A lot of fire.
Yeah.
Because there's air in space.
Yeah.
A lot of fire that just shoots out of that whole bridge like is gone, and areas surrounding it too.
See, I have a theory. Now, go with me with this.
All right, we're following.
The reason why that there's still fire and that how they can fly and all that stuff is that the Force is only around this galaxy.
Yeah.
Why it has a very strange effect to why it has fire and all that stuff. You can change everything, which is why we can't use the Force, because the Force isn't surrounding our galaxy.
But the Force is everywhere and in everything.
All living objects,
yes.
According to Yoda.
But
Are you a living object?
But the thing
is there's nothing living in... Well, I mean, there are a lot of things living in space, but like space itself is not a living entity,
I'm pretty sure... The thing is that I'm pretty sure...
I don't believe I'm the proper person to answer that question.
Your response would be no.
No.
Would it be?
I'm pretty certain.
Wait, no,
you don't believe that like space itself is living. Okay, we're following.
Okay, so...
Distractions.
But that's what I think is that the Force is only surrounding this galaxy, and they've never really ventured out of this
Not
galaxy.
this one, that one.
No, yeah, that one.
Yeah, Galaxy Far
They've
Far
never
Away.
really ventured out of the galaxy, therefore they think they have a very, I don't know, a small point of view, I guess you can say, on small aspect. They have a very small aspect, whatever. They can only see within their galaxy, therefore they're not knowing that a different galaxy doesn't have the Force, it's only this galaxy.
What's weird is they actually were looking at the Star Wars galaxy.
Actually, it's not.
What?
It's not.
Well,
it's what the fuck is it called? I know
it's another galaxy that they were looking at.
No, it's a completely different thing. It's like
that looked like a Milky Way galaxy.
Yes, I know.
If you'd like to be a translator for Jacob, please let us know.
I can't remember what it's called. It's something Ma?
The Maw?
Yeah.
Why did it look like a galaxy?
Because I don't know. But I
Okay.
think that's what it was.
At the end of episode 5, they were like standing at that window on the Nebulon B.
Yeah.
With the window, and they were looking out, and it looked like a galaxy. Did
Yeah,
it
it
not?
did.
Yeah. Apparently, that's not a galaxy. It's the Maw.
And what is the Maw?
Apparently,
Can we
Jacob
say-
is
can we
not
say-
the
Can we
person.
say it like that?
The Maw.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Apparently, Jacob is not the person to ask about what
I
the
guess.
fuck that is.
I will
Yes.
find a link
I hope so.
to the Maw.
The Maw.
Dot.
So racist.
Dot. There's
Dirk.
always there's 3 dots. Yeah, we gotta get to you.
Yeah.
What did you like about episode 6?
What I found interesting, and I didn't bring up in the episode 5 review, there was more music in this one.
In 6?
Yeah, in
Uh-huh.
episode 5, there was a surprising lack of music.
Oh, are you referring to like Jabba's palace where they had like
it was
the singing and dancing
right.
and all that?
And in episode 5, there were a lot of dead music areas.
Yeah. I mean,
And
even
I
in Cloud
didn't-
City.
It didn't jump out at you.
Well, Cloud City was a very quiet place in 5.
So I love the music, and I really appreciate the fact, I really appreciate the original because of
Episode 4? Or no, you mean the
I'm talking
original-
about 6.
The original version.
The
of
original
6.
version of 6.
Okay.
Because in Jabba's palace, you don't have
That fucking
the extra CG dancers and that
That
stupid ass little blues singing whatever the fuck it
I
was.
would like to point out, John Williams did write that song.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
It didn't
you did
need
not the new one?
That new one,
It
yeah.
wasn't
weird.
necessary.
It's true. I don't know why they like. I don't think I've seen the new version of 6 recently enough, or I just don't think I've seen it.
And we're done. I liked it.
Oh god.
I still like it.
Cool.
What did you not like, real quick?
Just real quick.
I didn't like
Ewoks.
Ewoks. Yeah, Ewoks are pointless. That's about it.
Alright.
It's just the Ewoks. The rest of it was fine. I thought
Well, aside from the physics, because I mean, you
but the physics I let go for Star Wars.
you suspend your belief.
Even though we
I
can't
have
do it
to.
for episode
I have
8
to.
with the bombs.
No, that was dumb.
They need engines to
real
force them down.
quick. Let me finish.
Sorry.
The fight scene between Vader and Luke, much better this time. But Luke still swings the damn thing like a bat. He doesn't know how to fight.
I think
he
Rey
doesn't swing
handles
like
the
a
lightsaber better than Luke does.
Oh, I don't want to say that.
But it's true.
Don't want to say
But
that.
it's true.
Compared to episode 5 and 6,
Rey has more control, but I don't think she's
She's still very heavy-handed with it.
Yeah.
Like, she wields it like a staff.
okay. I'm not.
that's because
You're
she's
going to
really-
ruin my mood. Knock it off. The fight scene was better. Luke is still clumsy with a lightsaber, but he was much better. The extra races that they brought in in 6 was really cool. You got to see Salacious Crumb, the
Twi'lek.
Twi'lekian monkey lizard.
Oh.
Yeah,
That was the first time we saw
you
Twi'lek
get
as well.
You get to see the huts.
No.
Yeah, I think so. I think
They're
it
not
is
in
the first
4 or
time.
5.
I think so.
That's the first time you see a Twi'lek.
No way.
The
Yeah.
Gamorrean guards, the Bomar monks,
Technically, the hut.
that's
the
what I
huts.
just said.
Oh, I thought you said...
I thought I said hut. I'm pretty sure I said hut.
Technically, the first time you get to see Ubi's armor is
Yes.
worn by Leia inside.
Yep. So that was pretty cool. A wider range of people
Yeah.
or
Races.
things, races,
Rancors.
species, Rancor.
More creatures.
That was pretty cool. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah, I'm done. I liked it. Ratings.
Ratings.
I'll go with 4 again. Thumbs up.
4 thumbs up.
4.5 thumbs up.
Okay.
So none of the movies, now that we've gone
None
through
of
the
the
original...
movies suck.
No.
None of them were below a 4
Nope.
for us.
Yeah.
All of them are thumbs up, all 4s or higher. Nothing was a 5. Because nothing is ever that perfect.
Except maybe me.
No.
Questionable.
And that's
You're
only
far
once.
from
That's
perfect.
only once in a while.
Far from... It's questionable. But anyhow... But that concludes our reviews of the original trilogy. I don't know if we're gonna continue to episodes 1, 2, and 3.
We'll
I
see.
know we still have to do episode 7 as well.
I think we might get some regular episodes in for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll go directly into any more reviews, but
Maybe
now
closer
that
to episode 9, we'll do a little bit more of the reviews and whatnot.
Sure.
well, I mean, halfway through the year we could do episode 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
and then when we get closer to 9, we can do 7, since that's the only
We
one.
can
out of
also
them.
do 8, revisit it.
Yeah.
No, there's no
Before-
reason to do that. We've
before-
already done it.
Revisit. We can do a revisit.
We don't need to.
Yes, we do.
Why?
Why not?
Because we already have a review of 8.
But no.
Yeah, we do.
Before we have a cripple fight, take us out.
Oh my god.
Take your time.
Thank you for joining.
Fucking times. Just like the executor.
Thank you for joining us today on the BlueMilk podcast, where we went on tangents about Star Wars stuff, but for the most part, tried to talk about episode 6 and positives and negatives. Please join us again next Monday at 7 p.m. when we bring you a normal episode for the first time in, I don't know, like a month or so.
Yeah, I think so.
No, episode 66 was a correct episode. We just focus on the Sith only.
It was the closest thing to a normal episode in the past couple of months, because prior to that, we did the reviews. Because prior to episode 66, we did the reviews
Oh, for Resistance.
for
yeah.
Resistance.
So
Yeah,
sorry
I know.
about
You're
that.
trying to block that out of your mind.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah,
know.
I get it. No, we've been doing a lot of reviews lately. We're going to get back into the swing of things with some normal episodes coming your way after this. So please look forward to those, and be sure to check out our sister podcasts at the Mile High Show and Real Film Nerds.
Yep.
The Mats will forever appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure to like, share, and subscribe all of our social media. That would be Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.
That's it.
And I think that's it.
Forever.
Like, share, follow, subscribe, and start paying close attention, because Jacob's going to be at Celebration this year.
Yeah.
And he will be representing the podcast. And we'll see if we can get some good shit out of that.
Oh, we will. A lot of live streams on Facebook.
Maybe he'll get limp for Kennedy.
Maybe.
I'm already looking for Kennedy.
Maybe if you actually do attend Celebration yourself and you're watching and you attend Celebration, look for Jacob to see if you can get some exclusive swag from the BlueMilk podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Good shit.
So,
Bye.
toodles!
Yeah.
Come to the dark side.